Hey there, guys. This is Flamzeron, aka YouTube's Tasuke. Can you tell I'm getting tired of saying that? But anyway, I got a bunch of manga a while ago, and I'm gonna review some of it. I guess this one's probably more of a my thoughts, since this is an ongoing series, and this one I've kind of been keeping up with a little bit more, um, because I've been looking at the scanlations. I say look or read, but I'm not really paying too much attention to the story because I want to read the official like translation and whatnot. And so I'm talking about Citrus, that new Yuri Shoujo Ai manga that started up, and I got the first volume at Barnes and Noble a while ago, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it and what I can of the later stuff because I have like the Matsuri stuff I more or less kind of dipped into because I mean, come on, that's actually a pretty big story thingy. But this one, what I like about it is that it's not really. I feel like it's not really like other, your typical Yuri anime series. All girls school, boarding school. Main girl is a girly girl. The girl friend is the tomboy. They do stuff, maybe even student council. There's the play, happily ever after. Like, I feel like this one's actually a bit different. It is, I mean, they're adopted sisters, so it is kind of strange. But you've got your protagonist Yuzu, she's what in Japan is called a gyaru, or a girl, or no, or a gal, not a girl. Well, she is a girl, but gyaru. It's like a sort of like that stereotypical like that stereotype of like American women with like the really bleached hair and like the tan skin. That's apparently a thing, and she's one of those, as far as I can tell. Like, and they seem to hint that her hair is dyed, which I guess with this taking place in Japan, I guess that's pretty accurate. I suppose I don't know how far interracial families have gone in Japan, but I'm getting off topic. She goes to this new school, and it is a bit of a prestigious school. Like, they have strict uniform rules, which Yuzu breaks pretty easily. But it's kind of fun. It's kind of interesting to kind of see her sort of change and develop over the course of the story. She becomes less like a, just a valley girl kind of thingy, and more like just a person, I think. She even like wears her hair a little differently. She apparently doesn't wear as much makeup. She still wears her uniform kind of loosely. Like, she like, I know she doesn't do up her top button, which like the school counselors are like, you got to do that, and she's like, no. But she like wears like the jackets or the cardigan. Like, she's I don't know. It's just kind of interesting to kind of see her kind of grow that way, and I actually kind of really like her for that. And she gets a crush on her adopted sister May, who's like really stern, and she's like the head of the student council. Her black hair is symbolic of her views that everything of her the blackness is like her world order, which is kind of funny considering, because I feel like most people, when they think of world order, they think of white. But May, she honestly, I find her kind of strange because of the way they pull her off like she they kind of flip flop her a little too much. I say they, though I think it's just the one person, because like what basically sparks everything is that they Yuzu sees a teacher, and she's like, oh, it's like this guy teacher she likes. He's like, oh, I'll ask for his email address, and she catches him and May macking on each other's faces, and May sees them. May sees Yuzu, and she's like, I'm gonna go away now. And then Yuzu tries to kind of talk to her about, not really, kind of almost bully her a little bit. She's still sort of in like this gal mode or whatever. But then May kisses her just randomly. Like, May's kind of, I find her portrayal in this story to be kind of weird and forced. To me, I'm not entirely. I can't. It's kind of hard to read her. I guess that's what they're intending. That she's deliberately trying to throw people off. I guess. And but like, she's been like, oh, it looked like it was a good way to shut you up. And then another one like where they're taking a bath together and like she starts rubbing all over you. And it's like, why are you doing? It's like, you look like it's what you wanted. You wanted to touch my body. And then like with the whole Matsuri thing, if you have read that, spoilers for those of you who haven't, Mei kisses Matsuri and she's all like, I've won Yuzu over with that kiss. And I'm just like, what, babe, what is your problem? What's your deal? I don't understand you. And then what was another one? There was another moment that crap. I just had another moment in my head. I can't remember it for the Oh yeah, I remember. Where like it was I think like chapter 3 or whatever cuz I've read ahead a little bit, though I didn't actually like take the time to really read it until the actual English version, like the official version came out in English. But at any rate, she's like, "What did that kiss mean?" And then May was like, "It didn't mean anything." And I'm just like, I'm not entirely sure I understand why Saburoda, I think this author's name. I'm not entirely sure what he or she is going for with May. It seems like in the graphic novel, I feel like they explain her a little bit better. I don't remember exactly what they said. It's more like that I'd have to read it over again. It's actually been a bit because once I got it's like, this is the first one I'm reading. So I think my general impression of her is that she's trying to she kind of hints that she kind of secretly wants it, I think. But also that because when you think about it too, like even if she's doing like the kind of stuff like it was to shut you up, or I could tell you want to touch me, like that's not really something that most people would do, I think. Yeah, if they wanted it, then like you'd probably take note, but I don't know if you'd act on it in that way unless you also wanted it. So I think I think it's just that May's actually like really depressed and sad all the time. I think that's part of the reason for her explanation. That from what I remember, I think that's what's going on. If anyone has any like theory or like any clear idea of what May's deal is, then you can go ahead and let me know in the comments. But honestly, May, I feel like she's a little too conflicting. And I don't mean that in a bad way necessarily, because to be a bit of a hypocrite is to be human, in my opinion. Like we all contradict ourselves all the time, but I feel like because she's being both cold and being and like wanting it at the same time, it's kind of hard to read what her real motives are, I think. Whereas with Yuzu, she her first line is like, "I want a boyfriend." That's of course the way she is like, "I hate being single." I feel like this actually kind of works out better for her character. I imagine this is where a bunch of like anime elites will be like, spice up, that's not textually accurate, but I feel like it is I feel like it works better because the way she says it makes it sound like she's trying to kind of make it. Yuzu has never dated. They make that pretty clear. Or she's only dated like one person. She's actually kind of new to the whole dating and love thing, and she's kind of embarrassed by that, so she makes up boyfriends. And like, I want a boyfriend, like for her to just say that, it kind of comes off as like just sort of like this random statement that doesn't really it doesn't really, it kind of infers both sides, I think. And not to mention, it's just a very bland statement. I feel like the whole, I hate being single. Oh my fucking god. Yeah. She doesn't actually say it like that, but I feel like that's a bit stronger. I don't even know why. This isn't the Hard Star review, which that'll be a treat, I'm sure. But at any rate, I feel like Yuzu, I find her more interesting than Mei, mainly because, like I said, I find Mei to be a bit of a hard read. And maybe it's just me because I'm sure there's probably someone out there's like, oh, you are a dummy. Like, this is clearly what is going on in Mei's head. Like, and if you can tell me, then go ahead and tell me. But, you know, and Matsuri I found kind of interesting too because I felt like she, design wise, kind of suited Yuzu a bit too because she wears her uniform so weird. She wears like the shirt and the tie. She wears it loose. She wears what looks like a hoodie over her shirt and then the blazer over the hoodie. I'm just like, that's awfully warm. But I don't know. I also kind of felt like their Matsuri kind of gave in a little too quickly. I would have liked it better if there was a little bit more a little bit more conflict to it or more drama. Of course, again, I've only like skimmed several bits of it, but I mean I've read like several sections too. And like I said, the whole Matsuri thing was the one that I actually took the time to read. And of course I'll read the graphic novels as they come. I think Seven Seas is doing the localization and translation and marketing, and I think they're the ones who licensed it. And from what I understand, they like to do shorter series, so that makes me a little concerned as to how long the series will be. I know some manga, like Pretty Face and One of the Orphans, was 6 volumes. And I'm sure there's other manga out there that's just 6 volumes. I don't really follow too much of different stuff, but I know that Pretty Face was one that I really liked that was only 6 volumes. But I felt like it kind of wrapped up in a way that, was nice. And so I feel like Citrus could follow suit. I think we're on chapter 14 or 15 now. I'll have to check, and I'm going to try and compare it with another manga series. I know that's kind of weird considering different manga has different pacing, but I feel like it may give us a rough idea, or at least something to kind of work off of. And I'm fine with that, honestly. I don't think that we, I don't know. But, it'll be interesting to see if this series gets longer. I think it has the potential of really standing out in the crowd of Yuri manga, and I think that as it develops its story more, it could potentially be as big as, say, Maria Watches Over Us or Strawberry Panic or whatever the latest Sakura Trick shoujo sect. But I think it has potential, and of course there was that voice acted commercial for the manga where the chick who played Azusa and Keion did Yuzu, which was kind of funny. But it worked because she didn't sound very confident, though she had a bit more of a boyish voice. In my opinion, it sounded kind of strange because of that. So it'd be interesting if they came in to do an anime. What if they're working on one? I imagine it'll probably be a little bit before they announce one, but we'll have to see how that goes. So yeah, that's really all my thoughts on it. Basically, to sum it up, I like the story. I like Yuzu. I like Matsuri, even though she doesn't show up in this volume. As far as I can tell, differences between the fan translation and the official translation are minimal, so that's an indicator that this is a good translation. And I like it. I mean, I like Yuri, so I like shoujo and that kind of stuff. So that's just me, but I'd recommend it if you like Strawberry Panic, or if you just like seeing girls make out in anime form. You like seeing clitorises rubbed together. Okay, that's a little too much, but I'll reel it in there, and I'll just leave you guys with that. I also read a Juko the Galactic Patrolman, but I think I'll probably review that maybe next week or something. I'm just going to do 2 videos this week. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.